Hello everyone, we are jumping back into the Stanley Parable, and of course every time it seems to load up lately, it is something different. So it's asking me what time it is, but it's actually not letting me set the time. Does anyone really truly know? Of course you don't. No one knows nothing. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game settings to exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. So if I put this at night time, would it be dark? Maybe that's what it is. Now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can, and I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. Ominous. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. I knew it. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games weren't meant to be played alone. Wait, that said were? They weren't. Were? You like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I've really learnt about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There is still one more setting we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. How ominous. And we are jumping into the Stanley Parable 2, apparently. We're still in the Stanley Parable 2.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company.
Still the balloons. I have a very sore jaw. Please bear with me. That was so strange. Every time it was just weird on my jaw. Anyway, balloons.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah, well, someday.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket. My question is, if we follow this normally to the end, is that gonna reset it back to normal?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Yet there was not
meeting
a single
room.
person here either. Feeling
Yep, we're all good on that. Yep.
Stanley
Room closet.
decided to go up to his boss's office.
Upstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Boss's office. I still bet there is. Oh, you could open that when we. Look, you can actually, if you line up the gap, we can actually see there is something in there. Anyway. Boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
I don't remember the
indication
code
of
off the top of my head.
life.
We've got to wait.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Come on.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
4. I'm stuck. There you go.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing
Wow,
random buttons on
I'm
the
so
keypad,
good.
Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
I'm just amazing,
He
aren't I?
stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Look, it's one of them.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay. Back down we go. Trying to get back to Stanley Parable number 1.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel
I hope
this
you guys
now,
are
when for
enjoying
years
these
it
videos,
had
because
never
I am
occurred to him?
enjoying playing
This
this
question would
wacky
not
game.
go unanswered for long.
But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
Escape.
Control Facility.
Yes, back here again. Let's get some more lights on the subject. I know we've already done this one, but I am hoping it will put us back to the first Stanley Parable, supposedly.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Onwards! Button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Whoa. Let's press that button.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh, this is very laggy for some reason. Every time the screens change.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Oh look, that's the door that we came out of way back when at some point.
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Who knows?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. Oh, that's an ominous light up there, isn't it? Ooh. Okay. So we want to turn this off. I wonder if you turn it on. I wonder if it resets you back to the start of the game. Ooh. So maybe that's something we've got to come back and do at some point. Methinks.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
This has got to bring us back to the original game, surely.
Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had
I wonder if
he
we can
been
actually
freed
find that
from
out.
the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
To let
No
go.
longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing.
Let's hope that this resets the game,
Stanley stepped
please.
through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Yes, he
the
did.
feeling of liberation.
Yes,
the
he did.
immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley was happy. I'm so happy for Stanley. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Okay, we're still in the sequel. I wonder if I press begin the game again, if it'll get rid of it. Nope, we're still in the sequel, people. We are still in the sequel.
What could it mean?
It's a phone. I thought it was a
Stanley
dinosaur.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A meeting? Oh, that's never been there before, has it? Or am I being stupid?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Has that been there before? I've never noticed that before. Oh, this is creepy. Okay. So they're trying to find... Oh, look at that! We've got 2 of them ticked off. A private but smelly place for an important person. That's got to be the boss's office. A large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs, and somewhere both red and blue. The private but smelly place has got to be the boss's bathroom, I think. The large room with lots of boxes. We saw it on the conveyor belt. Okay. There will be a reward for finding them all alive. Who are you? 66 little lol. There will be cleaning of this wall required. I want them so much. I want to go home. Stop kidding yourselves. Okay. Well, let's go back to the boss's office. Let's go redo that again. Definitely not one in here. No? Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
I hope this
office.
one's right. Haha,
Another
I
miniature
knew
Stanley
it.
figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? StanFigs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
That door didn't close behind me as well. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. That wasn't there before. Right, let's go back this way. And go all the way down the stairs this time. Oh, another one!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I'm going with Stanlerines. Sure. Okay.
But
So this
Stanley
way...
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered
Never
this,
do these
he began
Stanley
to make other
figurines, but
strange
that's just my opinion.
observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This
La
can't
la
be
la
real.
la.
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just
I don't think
hadn't
this
found
is the way I
words
was
for it.
thinking it was.
I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
You have to go through the right door to get where I was thinking with the
To have finally
boxes.
found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Oh, I don't know
He thought
about
to
that.
himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life
Oh.
job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm
Wish you
still
could sprint.
lucid.
Wish there was a
So,
sprint button.
he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then
Wow.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
that was weird.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a
Skibidi
voice in my
doo.
head dictating everything that I'm doing
Womp.
and thinking?
Womp.
Now the voice was describing
Womp.
itself being considered by Stanley, who
Womp.
found it particularly strange. I'm
Womp.
dreaming about a voice describing me,
Womp.
thinking about
Womp.
how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Womp.
And while he thought it all
Womp.
very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams...
This is... I wonder if this is
but of
still the
course,
confusion
this was
ending.
not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley
I don't think
simply
it is.
deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all,
I think we need
he
to
knew
sit down for a
certain,
minute.
beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Bop.
He would prove it. He would
Bop.
prove that he was in control,
Bop.
that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a
Comfy.
world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing.
Let me go back to my job.
Please.
I love my
It's all
job.
I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
I am
Everything
normal.
will be fine. I am okay.
Poor Stanley. Oh, and look at that, we're still here. This way.
Stanley began screaming.
This way.
Please, someone wake me
This
up. My name is
way.
Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just
Oh.
someone tell me I am
Hazy.
real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Womp womp. Poor Stanley. He's not having a great time, is he? This is the second time we've put him through this.
Of a woman
Oh.
named Mariella.
Wait, what?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place.
Oh, we've seen this. Let's begin again. I hope it doesn't get rid of our Stanley figurines, though. We don't need to watch all that again and again and
All of
again.
his co-workers were gone.
Okay.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
If we... Oh... But we need to go right, so we're not gonna know.
When Stanley came to a set
Let's
of
go to
two
right.
open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
We're just gonna chance
Perhaps
it.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
You know, I don't actually think I've walked this way once, because you can see there's actually something there you can go down. Oh, I can't even zoom all the way down there. That's annoying, isn't it? Okay.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
See, look, there's the other Stanley. Can we parkour over there? Oh, I can parkour. Oh, I'm stuck. Nope. Steady. There is a door right there we could have come out of. There's a tunnel. Okay. I can see the outside. Okay.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've
Okay,
nearly
we just need
gotten
one
all
more.
the Figler Anlarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Huh?
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlarines. None of us can.
I have no idea. I know where the last one is, but I can't picture it off the top of my head. Let me just... I know this is bad, but I'm going to Google it. Stanley Parable figurines locations. So obviously we have... Okay. So we've got the one in the first part. We need the somewhere red and blue. That is the only one left. What number is that? Somewhere red and blue is number 4 on the list. So we have to walk off the cargo lift onto the catwalk below. Okay, so I think we needed to go there, maybe? Obviously, there's nowhere else we can go from here. I don't, unless if we walk through here, does that take us back anywhere? Oh, it's taking us somewhere. Oh, this isn't
Stanley
right.
had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path.
Wait,
that
what?
It seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun. So. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be.
That was
all
creepy.
the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording. It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory.
Where am I going?
I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall
Oh my God,
of
why is he so
surprises
angry?
and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Okay. Oh. That was abrupt. Oh. Oh my God, I literally do think this is still the confusion.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh, it
What could
is.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps when Stanley came to a set of 2
Right.
open doors, he entered
need to
the
go
door.
right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
That's
and
fine.
Stanley knew it perfectly
Don't worry
well.
about it.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yep, employee
Why,
lounge. Let's keep
yes,
walking.
This room. But
Lovely.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the
Oh,
first
boy.
open door on his left.
Okay. So we need to jump down
Stanley
in
was
the
so
cargo
bad at
lift.
following directions, it's
and go
incredible
that
he
way.
wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story
Okay.
has been about
Let's go.
nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stan. What? Really?
Oh, almost fell
I was
then.
in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you.
I don't want to miss
show
this
you
guy.
something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. And there it is. The
Ta-da!
last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment,
Thank God
Stanley.
for that.
This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect
Do I
to be
really not
rewarded
get
for the
anything?
most
That's so
trivial
sad.
achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay, so is that
Now
it? Are we
listen
back to the story? Oh, we're
carefully,
still in
this
the
is
sequel.
important.
Okay, cool.
Stanley walked through the red door.
We've gone through the red door, so I'm going through the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Oh my God.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah, I found it.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen?
I do.
Well, don't
I
let
do.
me stop you.
Oh my God, he's angry, isn't he?
You see? There's nothing here.
Oh, look
I
at that.
haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had
Oh,
wanted?
wow.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not
So
think I put a lot
angry.
of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
I'd
Work
love to
with
have
me.
just
You give me
jumped.
absolutely nothing so
Or
far.
sprint.
Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
What if I go for... Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep
kind of
this
want
party
to
train
walk
rolling.
through the wrong door.
Based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh, the Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. There's no one on it. Oh, there is. That's crazy. Did you know 21.3% of players skipped it the intro sequence? Only 3% of people chose the blue door? I chose the blue door. That's not very nice. I've been playing this game for 7 hours. That's ridiculous. Okay. Oh.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Not really, if
Again,
I found out I've
honest
been playing
answers,
this for 7
please.
hours.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby
Wait,
crawls
what?
left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
That's aggressive.
So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be
What?
sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh no, this is kind of annoying. I want the baby to die. Okay, what happens if we let it die?
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's
Both.
the latter, well, I don't
Wait,
know what
what?
to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
Oh,
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone
my
else's
God.
game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
oh. Wait, what?
Ah, fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Don't know, but I still can't jump.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from
There's
up
no
high
one
in your
bloody
peak.
round.
Perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it.
May
What a fascinating venture into
1989.
the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay. That was a Minecraft sound. Oh, bit windy. Very windy. Oh, god damn it. Well, it didn't make that very clear, did it? Oh. To be honest, I think we should bring this back next episode, because we've been going for a while and I think we should look at this with some fresh minds. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, then please make sure to leave a a like and subscribe if you have not done so already. I would really appreciate that. And I will see you back in Wyoming volunteer supplies for Two Forks. And yeah, bye.